It's your favorite time, folks. Ask Zack questions. This one is from Edwin Street at Coffee Sales. His question. He says, because of his full-time job outside of this business and other activities, my focus gets thrown off and I try to do all the social media, development, and finance. As a startup, I don't have all the tools, the coffee grinder, or trade help, social media marketing, but he needs to continue to grow. Should I start raising some capital so that my sales can be more readily support the operation? I need paid help to design logos, branding, and to get equipment needed. So he's not sure he says, so I'm not sure if I need to have everything together before I start asking for money, or can I ask for what I need now? So, great question, Edwin. Hope you're doing well. What I would do is I would focus on the friends in this case. Now, raising money for the things that you're doing, it doesn't look like it's a lot of money. You can maybe do some friends with some personal loans. Maybe you can go to a bank and get a little bit of money there. You could do a small Kickstarter. You could do some sort of crowdfunding campaign there. What I would say is, and I learned this technique from Mike Fleck of CipherPoint Software many moons ago. He says, when you're in early stage business, don't pay $100. Don't pay more than $100 for anything. So you can always find something on the cheap. And so it might not be the most beautiful thing, but you can go to Fiverr and get a logo. You can probably find a logo from one of your friends who might do design work for a discounted rate. You just have to ask, right? And so or maybe you're throwing an event. So he goes and does these coffee events at different coffee shops and breweries and educational summits. Maybe you get those people to pay you more in advance and you're able to buy the supplies with the money raised from that. Don't always look at money raised as being the thing, right? Find a way that you can take your revenue and make that pay for the stuff that you're doing so that you don't owe anyone. You're just paying. You're taking the funds that you've received as revenue and you can spend the money accordingly there. From a social media perspective, call up your friends. And when I say call, I don't necessarily mean pick up the phone and call. It could be a text. It could be an email. Maybe start a really small email campaign with your immediate friends and family that that are going to support this and just tell them the story. If you remember, we had a conversation with Jason Vitug of Frugal and You Only Live Once, and he really talks about the early stages of his kind of content writing, where he talks about spending his time with those that were really passionate about him and what he was doing, and he would share the story with them. So Edwin, maybe there's a couple of people that you can share this story with who will then in fact share it, so you're getting that virality moment. I think what's really important is don't overthink this stuff, right? There's a million things that you're going to have to do in your business, right? So just do a couple of small things. So you're doing these Facebook Live videos. Instead of just posting a video of Facebook Live, do that. Make sure you have a great description and then embed that information back on Coffee Sales because you need repeatable, searchable content, right? You need to be able to be indexed. And a lot of times with marketing and social media, the tools aren't indexed in the same way where you're not going to be found forever. So you can build up this following, which is great, but if you don't have that content to be indexed so it can't be searchable over and over again, you're doing yourself a disservice. So think small. Don't spend a lot of money, $100 or more. $100 or less, and that's it per thing. But I bet if you ask, you can get some stuff done here. And then instead of trying to raise money, try and make money to pay for the things that you need. So if you need a coffee setup, have wherever you're going for that next thing, have that person pay for it in the way that you price your stuff. And then once you have it, you don't have to buy that again. Edwin, I hope this helps. If you guys have questions, all you have to do is go to startwithhatch.com/ask and ask away or comment below. And that's this edition of Ask Zack.